Député de Calgary Centre.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the Supreme Court has affirmed every argument regarding the overreach of this government's disastrous Impact Assessment Act. Its effects have been over $100 billion of projects cancelled. No major projects have proceeded. 42 projects are in limbo. First Nations can't get roads built to their communities. This bull-headed ideology has broken Canada's regulatory system. After 8 years, will this NDP-Liberal government finally take a lesson, abide by the Constitution, and stay in their lane?
L'honorable secrétaire parlementaire.
Mr. Speaker, after a decade of the Harper government, they gutted environmental regulation and still got nothing built. Our government is continuing to review the ruling, and we'll have more information to share soon about aligning existing legislation with the Supreme Court's ruling. We have previously said the current system will remain in place. We will have more to share soon, including any changes or guidance on the project. Fortunately, Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives have zero credibility on the environment. They're just not worth the risk.
Honourable member from Calgary Centre.
Well, I advise the member across the way that the last project was built in 2016 was under the previous government's environmental assessment regime, LNG Canada. But the Chief Justice is clear in his statements. He says very clearly the federal government cannot overstep its boundaries into provincial jurisdiction. Who else has said this bill was an immense overreach? Every province, over 100 First Nations, industry groups across the country, this Conservative Party, and anyone who can read the Constitution. Will this NDP-Liberal government finally accept this decision, respect provinces, and stay in their lane?
L'honorable secrétaire parlementaire.
Mr. Speaker, as stated earlier, when the Conservatives were in office, they gutted the environmental protection, eroded public trust, discouraged investment, and made it harder, not easier, to build projects. This was why we delivered better rules for environmental assessments to help move projects forward. While we are making amendments to the Act, the Supreme Court was clear. This Parliament can enact legislation to protect the environment. The Conservative Party's plan to eliminate the environmental protections and disregard Indigenous rights is reckless, unacceptable. That leader of the opposition is not worth the risk.